Remember that time Lady Gaga showed up to the Grammys in an egg? How silly was that? Hi, I'm Cantor, and I'm here to talk to you about silliness. Over Thanksgiving week, I watched all 8 episodes of a new show on Max called Human vs. Hamster. The premise of this show is that teams of humans are competing both against each other and against hamsters to prove species superiority. And when I say competing against hamsters, I mean the humans are doing challenges and running obstacle courses in the vein of American Ninja Warrior and Legends of the Hidden Temple, and the hamsters are doing the same challenges at hamster scale. The show is hosted by SNL cast member Sarah Sherman, also known as Sarah Squirm in her pre-SNL days. She's great. And football commentator Kyle Brandt, with a bonus appearance by Brian Balthazar as the resident hamster expert who provides hamster facts throughout the show. I'm gonna be real with you. This show is silly beyond belief. Here's some highlights.
To squeeze through the opening as Robbie turned the color of his shirt and then pulled David to freedom. They never lost their cool, but David did lose his shoes.
That's right. You guys are gonna be doing the pushing. How you feeling?
I'm gonna beast this mission here. We're gonna go right to the top.
Did you say you're gonna beast it? He's gonna beast it.
What?
Okay?
You gotta win this for us.
I will.
For humans.
Yeah, baby.
Nurses, you...
Timmy is on the hot corner to the AC unit.
Oh, I think my butt too big.
No, Nash, humans,
All right, Joseph is coming careening down the alley. It looks good.
Very silly, no, but does this silliness mean it's a good show? We live in a very serious era. As the poet Rainer Maria Rilke said, God talks to each of us as he creates us. Nearby is that country known as life. You will recognize it by its seriousness. There's a lot of stressful things happening right now. I don't feel the need to list those things out because you know for yourself what's happening in the world around you that causes you worry and anxiety, and you probably don't want to be reminded about any of it. And, as often happens, media reflects this seriousness and stress. There's been a lot of amazing television dramas in the past 15 years or so. Game of Thrones, House of Cards, The Americans, a personal favorite of mine, Breaking Bad, all very serious shows that take themselves seriously. Even a lot of our modern comedies take themselves very seriously. BoJack Horseman and Rick and Morty are very funny shows that also dive into serious, emotional, and interpersonal, and even spiritual topics. I, for one, would even argue that BoJack Horseman is a drama masquerading as a comedy through its own brand of animal pun silliness. There is such thing as too much seriousness, though. When the world is serious, and your media is serious, and your job is serious, and your day-to-day responsibilities are serious, doesn't it get to feel like a little much? A problem that can happen with all this seriousness is that we never get a break from it so that we can come back to it refreshed and ready to deal with it in healthy ways. In modern life, everything can seem serious pretty much constantly. Sometimes you need to put a pause on it and have some goofy, silly fun. College students get this. Part of why they party is to take a break from the seriousness of their studies. Though, of course, college students can overdo the partying and lose sight of their studies. Also, in many Christian denominations, they understand that you have to break up your seriousness, and that's why Carnival, the last day of which is Mardi Gras, exists. Carnival is a time of fun, celebrating, or simply eating up all your good fatty food before Lent comes around, and many Christians fast or abstain from certain foods or luxuries. And Lent is important because it leads up to Easter, the Christian day commemorating Jesus' resurrection. Former Catholic school kid here, trust me when I say Jesus' resurrection is super serious business. In a way, moving between seriousness and silliness is a kind of ritual. For Christians, Carnival followed by Lent is a religious and cultural ritual. For college students, a week of studying followed by a weekend of parties is an academic and cultural ritual. Personally, I believe a big problem with modern adult working life is that we often suffer from a lack of rituals unless we belong to a community that practices rituals or we create them for ourselves. At least this is the case in the United States. I guess the Western Europeans have their more laid-back approach to life and work, such that maybe this isn't the case there, but in the society I live in, it's very easy to get so caught up in work and responsibility and all the stuff I have to do that I lose out on a sense of purposeful ritual. And even if you have rituals in your life, those can also be taken very seriously all the time, so that you are still losing out on a break from all this seriousness. Personally, I keep trying to create rituals in my life around going on walks in the woods and also Buddhist meditation. The woods are a happy place for me, and meditation is an important practice for me as someone who has spent most of my adult life as a Zen Buddhist. But I've struggled to make these rituals consistent, maybe because I might have ADHD, waiting on that. Maybe because I'm not trying hard enough. Who knows? I have some amount of morning ritual in that I wake up with a cup of coffee and something entertaining on the TV, and I have a little bit of nighttime ritual in that an hour before I close my eyes for sleep, I get in bed and turn off all responsibilities and watch an episode or two of a show and maybe drink some chamomile tea. But I would love to have some rituals based around something other than Hulu. Sometimes I do make woods walking and meditation a daily thing, but I struggle to make that last for more than a couple weeks at a time. Maybe if I do get diagnosed with ADHD and get some help for that, sticking to these rituals will be easier. So back to silliness, and back to hamsters. This show is very, very, very silly. Sarah's outfits are silly, the challenges are silly, the jokes are silly.
Romeo was hanging out with the pizza forever. I think he played Galaga for a while and had a soda.
The core premise is very silly. And it is TV, and right now TV is the basis of my most consistent daily rituals. There's something to be said about injecting a little bit of goofiness into one's day. This is a good show to wake up and drink coffee to. It's a good break from business as usual in a serious world. It's not usually laugh out loud funny, but it is lighthearted and very committed to that. Take a break from your burdens and take a chance on Human versus Hamster.
Look out!